Hello, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. This is a podcast dedicated to bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I'm your host, Keith, aka the Radio Show Nerd, and today's episode is entitled Selling Your Soul. Literally and figuratively. So, without further ado, this is Terror Radio. The two radio series highlighted today are Dark Fantasy and The Devil and Mr. O. Our first radio play is called Rendezvous with Satan, and it was first broadcasted on The Dark Fantasy May 29th, 1942. Following that is the radio play Balance Sheet. Now, this is somewhat different because The Devil and Mr. O was basically a syndicated version of Lights Out in the later years. It ran between 1970 and 1973 and featured original broadcasts from Lights Out from 1942 to 1943 and was hosted by Arch Obler. The actual radio play is entitled Profits Unlimited, and it was first broadcasted on July 20th, 1943. When it was reissued on The Devil and Mr. O, it was December 24th, 1971. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to Rendezvous with Satan, followed by Balance Sheet, i.e. Profits Unlimited.
Dark fantasy. Rendezvous with Satan.
My good people, let us remember him who was past, not for what he was, not for what he did, but because he was, as all of us are, a temple of God. Let us remember that this which is about to return to common clay was molded from common clay. Today we gather here to pay our last tribute to this now still flesh, lying here before us clothed in the coldness of death. Let us always remember, and let us always remember.
Can you see him? He moved his hand. He moved his hand up toward his head.
Madam, please.
Oh, no. No, surely you're mistaken. I distinctly saw his hand move. He couldn't have. Carl. Oh, my darling.
What's happened to me?
Just lie still, Carl Fisher. This craft is most fragile.
What am I?
Where would you be after death?
Death? You say death?
Yes.
Am I dead?
They have your body in a church, Carl. Imagine you in a church.
No. No, you're mistaken. This is no church. I'm right here.
Apparently you are, yes. But we are most careful when we bring you here. We take every precaution to relieve the shock.
Shock?
Of finding yourself in the midst of fire and brimstone.
Hot. It's so hot.
You'll get used to it.
Where am I?
Your soul is here with me. Your body is back on Earth. At present, resting within a satin-lined coffin.
Coffin?
Yes. They're soon going to place you within a tomb.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Don't you? Personally, makes no difference to me whether you do or not. But for your own satisfaction, suppose you feel for yourself.
What?
Yes. Reach up with your right hand. Reach up. Feel the casket lining by your head. Go right ahead. There. You see?
Yes. But I'm lying in the bottom of a boat.
Only your soul is.
This is some trick. The boat is satin-lined.
I'll admit, Carl Fisher, I am generally most concerned about my own comfort. But as far as lining one of my boats with satin, no, I fear that would be too much, even for Satan.
Satan?
Yes. Here, let me prove to you the boat is not cloth-lined. There. You see?
You devil.
That's irony.
You are a devil.
Yes, I am. But not just a devil. The devil.
You mean I'm really dead?
One never dies, Carl. The common clay perishes, yes, but only the common clay.
Let me out of here.
I'm sorry. You see, you can't move until I permit you to.
But I moved my hand a moment ago. Felt the lining near my head.
That's because I wished you to. Nothing is done here unless I order it done.
Then I am dead.
Only your body. It might interest you to know you caused quite a commotion up there a moment ago when you interrupted your funeral oration by suddenly moving in your casket. Yes, quite a commotion. Only 2 people saw you. One of them was a woman. You frightened her, Carl. But they've taken her away now.
You mean my body actually is being preached over?
Oh, yes. Indeed, yes. You were a prominent man on Earth, Carl. Naturally, yours is a most elegant funeral. So many flowers, half of them could be brought into the church. People standing outside, on the sidewalk even.
Is Laura there?
Your wife? Oh, certainly. Where else would she be?
A church, you say?
Yes. Amazes you, doesn't it? You haven't been in a church for 35 years.
No.
You wouldn't even permit your daughter to be buried from a church, Carl. But she went to heaven. Anyway.
Stop it. Stop it.
Do you remember Reverend Brooks, Carl?
Reverend Brooks?
Yes. He married you. Remember? Today, he's officiating at your funeral.
No. No.
Would you like to hear what he's saying, Carl? Listen.
If Carl Fisher has brought tragedy into our lives, let us remember that out of tragedy, good can arise. Soon that tragedy will be forgotten. But let us never forget Carl Fisher. Let us remember him always as a Christian.
You hear, Carl? A Christian, he says.
Stop. Stop that voice.
Listen, Carl.
Let us pray for him often. and ask Almighty God to grant him pardon. Let us be generous towards him, that finally the Supreme Ruler may in turn be generous towards us.
No. No, stop him. Stop him. I don't want to hear anymore.
Did you hear what he said, Carl? He asked your friends, your family, your wife, to forget your evil, to remember only what was good about you. Yes, Carl, but that leaves them nothing to remember.
Oh, let me alone.
No, Carl. They've nothing to remember. Because there was nothing about you that was good.
I didn't have a chance.
Chance? You say you didn't have a chance?
Certainly not.
Well, I don't want to waste my breath by pointing out the chances you did have.
I was forced into everything that happened. Forced, I say.
Were you?
Certainly I was.
Haven't you ever heard of free will?
Free will? Free will, you say? I haven't had a will of my own in the last 30 years.
Haven't you, Carl?
No. You know I haven't. I knew I was doing wrong. Sure, I knew it. I'd never have made my millions by being the other way.
Your millions. Did you enjoy them, Carl?
I was just beginning to
when I took charge of you. Is that it?
Yes.
Your millions aren't worth much here.
Oh, where am I?
Certainly you haven't lost your imagination. Where would you be? With fire on all sides, and the smell of brimstone, and with me as your pilot on the river Styx.
Styx?
You remember. It's our largest river.
Where are you taking me?
I have a special assignment for you, Mr. Fisher. We have a certain reserved space for members like you down here.
Inferno. Tell me. Am I in Hades?
Does that surprise you?
No. No, I can't be. I didn't want to die. I wanted to do what was right, but I couldn't.
You didn't try.
I was going to try.
You've done nothing but evil for 30 years. You couldn't change now.
I could, I tell you, I could.
No, Carl.
I'll make a bargain with you, Satan.
Bargain? No one makes bargains with Satan.
Give me a chance. Let me go back. Let me live my life over. I'll change. I swear I will.
You'd never change.
I will. Let me go back. Let me show you. Let me prove I can do what's right.
All right, Carl. I'll bargain with you. It would at least relieve the dull monotony.
You give me a chance?
Yes, for 24 hours.
24 hours? Only 24 hours?
Yes. Do nothing but good for 24 hours, and I'll not return to claim you. But if you fail...
I won't fail. I won't.
It's up to you, Carl. It's entirely up to you. But remember, only 24 hours. Only 24 hours, Carl.
You really shouldn't have come tonight, Laura. You should rest.
I know. But I couldn't rest. Poor Carl. He needed someone so badly those last few days. And I was away. Never dreaming what was happening.
You mustn't blame yourself, Laura.
Oh, I can't help it. I feel I deserted my husband. Just when a man needs his wife most. There'll come a time, Dr. West, when I'll be afraid to come out here to the mausoleum. I wanted to come tonight to tell him goodbye.
Goodbye?
Yes. I loved my husband, David. Despite everything he did, he was the only one I ever cared for.
Here, my dear, I have the key. I say, Laura, it's not locked.
But I saw you lock it after the services this afternoon.
I did lock it. I'd swear I did.
Open the door.
Yes.
Do you have a light?
Yes. Pocket flash. There.
David.
Empty. The casket's empty.
David, for heaven's sakes, what's happened here?
I don't know, but Carl always said he'd come back.
What?
Yes. He told me once he had no fear of death because he knew he could always make a deal with Satan.
Carl told you that?
Yes. I laughed at him at the time, but now I wonder. I'd better go now, Laura. Sure you're feeling all right?
Yes, I know I won't sleep tonight.
You can relax. I can send you out a nurse if you like.
Oh, no. No, I'd rather be alone.
Well, if you need me, please don't hesitate to call.
Thank you, David.
Good night, my dear.
Good night, David. And thank you so much for being such a dear.
I'll call you in the morning. Good night.
That's strange. Yes. I'm not hearing things. That's an electric razor running. But it can't be. There's no one in the apartment but myself. Carl. 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 Carl!
Yes, my dear. Did you call me?
Carl.
Yes, Laura. What is it?
Carl. Are you really there?
What do you mean, am I really here? Of course I'm here. Heavens, I was right in the middle of my shaving.
Oh, no.
Laura, what's the matter with you? Why'd you call me?
No, Carl, please don't come any closer, please.
The world's gotten into you all of a sudden.
Darling, is it really you?
Really, me? Now, what are you talking about?
Carl, don't you know?
Don't I know what?
We buried you this afternoon. Carl, don't look at me like that.
Buried me?
Yes. Oh, darling, what's happened? Tell me what's happened.
I don't know. Something's wrong.
Carl.
My head. Whirling. Dizzy. I don't remember what happened.
Oh, darling, you're alive. Warm. Breathing.
Yes, but I seem to have been away. It was so hot. There was a boat on a river and a satin-lined casket and... Oh, Laura.
Darling, you did come back. Dr. West said you would.
Dr. West?
Yes, David. He said you told him once you'd come back after you'd gone on.
Laura, I have been dead, haven't I?
Yes, Carl.
I remember now. I was sitting at my desk, sitting alone at night in my office, and then something happened.
You were shot. The back of the neck.
Everything stopped. The next thing I knew, I was riding in the bottom of a boat lined with silk. No. That wasn't the boat that was lined. It was the casket. He told me to move my hand and I'd feel it.
Who, Carl? Who told you?
It was the devil.
Carl.
Yes. I died. Went to Hades. But I bargained with Satan. I bargained with him. He took me up, gave me 24 hours. 24 hours.
Darling, I don't understand.
24 hours to prove I could do good here on Earth.
Oh, is it true? Can it be real?
Yes, it is true. It's real.
I can't believe it. Things like this just don't happen.
This happened.
But, Carl, how?
I made a bargain, I tell you. A bargain with Satan. And I have a rendezvous to keep with him. In 24 hours.
I'm so confused, Carl. If only... Who could that be?
I'll go see.
Oh, no. If it's anyone we know, they won't understand. You go back into the bedroom, dear. I'll see who it is.
But the world's got to know sometime.
People will know soon enough. Please, dear. I'm too upset for a scene to try to explain to anyone tonight.
All right, my dear, if you wish.
Thank you, darling. Just a moment. David.
I had to come back, Laura. I couldn't stay away.
David, please.
Forgive me, dearest. But I've waited so long.
David, please go.
No, not until I've talked to you.
Some other time.
I can't wait any longer, Laura. It's not fair for you to ask me to.
Not fair?
You know I love you, Laura. I've known it for months, years.
David.
You have known, haven't you?
Yes, but...
I've waited so long to have the right to tell you about my love. Now, I know it's not right to come to you on the night of your husband's funeral and say these things, but I must know, Laura. I must know.
I have nothing to say to you, David, nothing.
I know you were always madly in love with that criminal of a husband of yours, but that's over now. You'll have to forget him. Oh, remember, darling, you're a young woman yet. Your life is still ahead of you. You can't go on carrying a torch for someone who cared more about making $1 million than making you happy.
Please, David, don't say that.
I have a right to say it. Now, I've kept it in check all of these years, waiting and hoping. And now Carl is dead. You hear me? Dead. Dead. You belong to me now.
No, David. Not now or ever.
Yes, I say, you're mine. If anyone has a right to you, I have. After everything I've done to get you.
Will you go now, David?
Oh, Laura, I need you. Oh, Laura, please, so you'll marry me.
No, David. I'll never marry you.
But I know you care for me. I could make you learn to love me.
No, never. I've had nothing for you, David, but friendship. I'll never have more.
I know that's not true.
Don't say that.
It's not. You do care for me. I could tell by the way you kissed me. That's when I first began building my hopes.
Kissed you? When did I kiss you?
You haven't forgotten. The party in my penthouse. Not more than 3 months ago.
Your birthday party?
Yes.
All the girls kissed you that night. If you remember, we even made a sort of game out of it, lined up like a bunch of high school girls to compliment our host.
Yes, but you meant more than just a compliment that night.
Do imagine.
Oh, no.
I kissed you just like the others. In full sight of my husband. And I might add, to his complete amusement.
Carl wasn't in the room. You waited until he'd left before you got into line.
Oh, nonsense, David.
No. I knew that night you cared for me. That's when I began planning to make you mine.
David, will you please go?
Not until you've told me you'll marry me.
I've told you I won't.
There's someone else.
Only my husband.
Someone else. Someone who's alive.
Please go, David.
What's that?
I want you to go.
What was that? In that other room?
Nothing.
What are
Nothing at all.
What are you doing?
I don't want you to ever come back here, David.
What are you doing?
I'm locking this door. I'm in no mood to have you go ransacking my place.
There's someone in that room.
David?
So. You couldn't wait until your husband was safely buried. Couldn't wait.
David.
Well, he won't have you. You hear me? He won't have you.
David. Please go now.
Very well. But I'm telling you this, Laura. He won't have you. Whoever he is, he'll never have you. I promise you that.
Carl? You hurt?
Yes.
Well?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Carl. She's been having an affair behind your back, hasn't she? She deserves to be killed, doesn't she? Well, go ahead and kill her.
I don't have to tell you, Carl. I've never cared for him.
Go ahead, Carl. Kill her. She's lying, don't you think?
No one but you, darling. Ever.
I can still tempt you, Carl. That's my job. That's how I keep my fires burning.
I know you believe me, Carl.
No, don't believe her. She's never lied to you before, but there's always a first time.
Darling, please don't stand there looking at me. Say something.
She wants you to say something. Well, go ahead. Say something.
Darling.
It's all right, dearest. I believe you. I wonder what people will say when I walk out into the world again.
Carl, don't you think it would be best for us to go away quietly? Someplace where we'd never be recognized?
Oh, well, I have a bargain to fulfill. Only until 3 this afternoon.
You'll spend that time with me then.
I'm sorry I can't. There's more to be done than probably either of us imagined.
Where are you going?
To the office first?
I'll go with you.
No, dear. I'll come back to you before I leave you again. To keep my rendezvous with Satan. Good morning, Miss Walling.
Good morning, Mr. Fisher. You're early this morning, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Fisher. Oh.
Confounded girl. How she'll make a scene. I'll spend all morning explaining. Nothing doing. I'll lock myself in the office. West.
Come in, Carl. I've been waiting for you.
Sitting in my chair. At my desk.
Yes. This is your gun, I believe.
What's the meaning of this?
I'm prepared to make a bargain with you.
Bargain?
Yes.
What sort of a bargain?
You died without leaving a will. I have one here dated 3 months before your death. Sign it, the business becomes mine. And I'll permit you to take away half of your $7 million and Laura.
You permit me?
Yes. You couldn't operate your business now. People wouldn't want to do business with a dead man.
Do I look dead to you?
Don't be facetious. I'm serious. I know all about what happened to you. When I came back to see Laura last night, I heard you talking before I pushed the buzzer. I don't understand it all, but I'm prepared to give Laura up for your business and half your cash.
You killed me.
What?
You killed me.
Fisher, keep back.
I see it clearly now. I see now that Laura wasn't lying to me last night. She's never cared for you.
I warn you, keep back, Fisher.
I remember what you said to her. You said, if anyone has a right to you, Laura, I have. After everything I've done to get you.
This gun is loaded, Carl.
Yes, I see it all clearly now.
Stay back. Stay away from me.
The night she kissed you at the party. Remember what you said about that last night? That was the night you began planning to make her yours.
If you come any nearer, I'll shoot.
I'm not going to harm you, Dr. West.
You'd like to get your hands on this gun. You'd like to kill me, wouldn't you?
Kill you? No, I can't kill you. I made a bargain not to.
Then keep back.
I could kill you, though. I've been proclaimed legally dead, you know. You can't hang a dead man.
Keep back. One step farther and I'll shoot.
I told you I don't intend to harm you.
Stop where you are.
I just want you to take a good look at me, Doctor.
Stop. Not one step farther. Not one step farther.
Laura.
Oh, darling, are you hurt?
It's nothing.
He shot you, Carl.
Laura. That gun in your hand.
I followed you here. I don't know why I brought the gun.
Laura. You killed him.
Oh, darling.
Give it to me.
No.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Carl, you must get to a doctor.
No. Look at the clock. No time for a doctor.
You're hurt badly.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Give me that gun.
Carl.
Give it to me. There. Now they'll think we shot each other.
Carl! 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 Oh, my darling. My darling.
You have won your bargain, Carl Fisher. There's no place here for you now.
You have heard Rendezvous with Satan, tonight's original tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop, originating in the studios of WKY. Ben Morris was Carl Fisher, Blois Wright played Dr. David West, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Laura Fisher, Fred Wayne took the part of Satan, Muir Height was heard as Reverend Brooks, and Georgiana Cook Height played the secretary. Next Friday at this time, listen for Scott Bishop's I Am Your Brother. Tom Paxton speaking, Dark Fantasy comes.
Lights out for the devil and Mr. O. It is later than you think. Turn out your lights now. We bring you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly so that if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now. This is Mr. O. Arch Obler. The play tonight is about the almighty dollar, the bucks, dinero, filthy lucre, gelt, mammon, mazuma, in plain English, the wherewithal, stuff on the barrelhead. I call it balance sheet, and it begins somewhere you and I will never go, after this special word.
Some of the happiest people in New York are the lucky few who've discovered the ground floor cafe. Now, you could walk by the CBS building 100 times and never notice this tasteful restaurant. And the regulars won't tell you about it because they want to keep it to themselves. They won't tell you about things like the combination lunches from $3.25 and 5-course dinners that are as low as $4.95. Of course, the ground floor cafe has cheddar burgers and grilled Reubens that put all others to shame. There are things on the menu that you've never tasted before, and they're beautiful, like cheese soup with bourbon and shrimp and coconut batter, and a wonderful dessert called apple grunt. That's right, apple grunt. The ground floor cafe is open for lunch, buzzing at cocktail hour, delightful at dinner, and pulsating after theater. It's in, it's casual, and the price is right, easy on the pocket. The ground floor cafe, if you can find it, is in the CBS building, 53rd Street and 6th Avenue.
And now, if you haven't already done so, turn off your lights and listen to Balance Sheet.
It just doesn't make sense.
Don't it, miss?
But why must you row me there?
I told you, miss, no boat can get past the reef.
But surely my grandfather can afford a power boat.
Last one sank 5 years ago.
Then why doesn't he... Oh, what's the use of asking any more questions? I've asked, and every answer just gets me more mixed up than I was before.
It's all very simple, miss.
Simple?
All just a question of money.
What do you mean, money?
10 generations the Cordays have lived and died on the island. It's all just a matter of money.
But my father...
Yes, all but your father. He was the one they called the fool.
Mr. Williams, I don't think you've any right...
It isn't a matter of right or wrong, miss. It's what they said.
How much farther is there to go? I can't see.
Yes, mist is always heavy this time of morning. He'll be there soon enough. Aye, all a matter of money.
Oh, why don't you talk words that mean something? You're like my father was. We could talk perfectly sanely about anything in the world, but the moment I spoke about the island and my ancestors, well, then there wasn't any clarity or logic anymore. Why don't you tell me what it's all about?
There's nothing to tell you that you won't know when we get there.
But tell me something.
Sun's rising, Mr. Lake.
Look, Mr. Williams, for 15 years, ever since I've been old enough to know what it's all about, I've been trying to get some information about my family. All I know is that for generations, the Cordays have lived on this island. While my father was alive, I could never come here. But now he's dead, and I'm here, and I've got to know something about them, anything. Yes, so that when I meet my grandfather, I'll know a little of what it's all about. Please, tell me.
It's all a matter...
Don't say that again. Tell me something that means something to me. Rowing in the middle of nowhere, I tell you...
Wait, miss.
Wait? What?
Ahead. If you just look ahead of you.
Land.
The island always comes sudden like out of the water.
So many trees.
They're always green.
You're not rowing, yet we move.
It's always a current.
I've waited so long to get here.
Aye.
We're moving so swiftly. What? There's a landing pier.
Aye. Hold on. We'll bump. Now, I'll hold it. If you'll jump.
All right.
You'll stand there, please. Wait for me.
Yes. No one here. My grandfather, where is he?
Are you afraid already?
Afraid? Why should I? Of course I'm not. But they knew I was coming here. My grandfather, why isn't he...
Through the trees. Look. You want clear answers. There's one of them.
Chimneys. Smoke. Factories. Yes, they are factories, aren't they?
Aye.
But factories here.
Stood there for 10 generations.
But on an island in the middle of... Why here?
It's all a matter of money.
What? Tell me.
330 years ago, Pierre Corday came to this island and built them up.
But why here?
I'm telling you. I've been telling you all along. A matter of money. You know what money is. Well, it's been the day and the night and the sun and the moon of your family for as long as there's been one of you. Money, aye, and here was the making of it and the horror of it.
But why?
Let me tell you. You wanted to know. Let me tell you quick. His profits weren't big enough, Pierre Corday thought to himself. And the trouble was with the men in the factories. He decided they wanted too much. Oh, it was the men at the machines who were to blame. If he could find a place where only he'd be the boss, where there'd be no investigators and boards of arbitration, then he'd tell the men what to do, and they'd do it. And up with the profits and out with the headaches in an island. Aye, a private island. That was the answer.
And this was it?
Aye, it. Beyond the jurisdiction of any man but one of the name of Corday. So here he moved his factories, machine after machine, and when everything was set up, he sent out to the places where men walked the streets looking for work, and he said, listen to me, you single ones. You're hungry, so listen to me. I have a place where there's work for you. Easy work. Work at the machines. You sit all day. You don't have to think. The machines think for you. Just sit all day and do the same thing over and over and over. I'll pay you well and I'll pay you regular. Aye, a life job if you do what I say all your lives.
And men came here?
Aye. Why not? 500 picked ones, all set for life jobs in the factories of Pierre Corday. Came here 330 years ago.
But why is there smoke coming out of the factories now?
500 of them. And they sat down at the machines and started working, and Pierre Corday brought women for him to mate with, and my kin was with them. And the machines started turning.
But the factories, they're still working. Why?
Listen. You wanted me to tell you, so listen. Listen to the rest. 330 years ago, and each had his own bit of work at the machines. One to press a lever here and the other to turn a screw here. Same work hour after hour, day after day. The months went by and the profits kept on coming in. But some of them began to get tired of it, tired of the machines. Fools they were from the start. Pierre Corday picked them that way. Still they got tired. They wanted to get back to the change in life of the rest of the world. Give us hunger, they said, but give us change. They said that, aye. But they didn't get what they wanted.
Then why didn't they go away?
Where? To drown in the sea?
Some did.
Then why didn't they rebel?
Aye, and some did that. And died for the trying.
Died?
Aye. They say that of the 500 men who came here at the end of 2 years, half of them had fattened the sharks in the harbor.
It isn't possible.
Aye, it all isn't possible. An island in the middle of nowhere with spinning machines and men at them. None of it's possible. But here it is. 330 years old and still the same as it was.
Tell me, you mean in those factories that... What?
Watch.
People. Marching. Who are they?
10th generation of them Pierre Corday brought and kept here.
The way they walk. Heads down. Arms hanging. Men like... My grandfather. Take me to him.
Take you to him?
Yes, take me to my grandfather.
Grandfather's dead.
Dead?
The island and they belong to you. Believe?
His grave is so new.
2 weeks. I buried him myself.
Did he send for me before he...
No, it was me.
You?
Me. I knew that you were the last one of them left, and I wanted you here.
But why?
I said it, didn't I? You're the last Corday. 330 years, and you're the last.
Why is the factory working so late?
It's the second shift. There are 2 a day.
All night?
Aye.
But why?
It's been that way for 330 years.
It's not true, none of it.
No?
I won't listen to you anymore.
Wait. Where are you going, girl?
Down there.
You can't go there now.
I'm going to the factory. Talk to them. Find out the truth.
All right. Find out for yourself. I want you to do that. Aye. Talk to them.
Row on row of men. And women. And children.
Aye, why not the children? The more hands, the more production. That was the law of the Cordays, the law of the island.
Their faces empty.
Machines do the thinking.
But they sit so quietly, not talking, none of them. Williams, why is this? Crouching over the tools like animals. Are they always like this?
The whistles blow, they eat. When it blows again, they march back to the barracks behind the factory.
Barracks?
Aye. Barracks, kennels, name it what you want. That's where they live. Live until after 12 hours, the whistle calls them back to work.
But the children...
I told you the children do like the rest. They work as soon as they can walk. It's been the law of the Cordays for over 300 years without change. It's the only law they know. Look at this worker, Miss Corday. Look at him, I tell you.
What's he making?
Look at his face. Lovely thing, ain't it? And his blood is the same as their blood, mixed together all through the factory. Look at them, Miss Corday. Yours, I tell you. Yours, all yours. Sit here at the machines until the flesh rots in their bones and they drop in their places. You inherit them, 1,000 of them. Ain't you proud of your inheritance?
What is he making?
What's it matter what they're making? The things they're making ain't been shipped from this island in 100 years.
What?
Aye, for 100 years they've been at the machines, but it's like a dog chasing his tail without beginning and end. What comes out of the last machine's brought back to the first machine and broken up and started all over again.
Why don't they stop?
Stop. How can you stop a rhythm that's been in the blood for 10 generations?
Why don't they talk?
You're scared now, Miss Corday.
They'll talk to me. Of course they will. This one. You, I beg your pardon. Would you stop work a moment and talk to me? I said, would you stop work a moment and talk to me? Williams, doesn't he hear me?
He hears you.
Then why doesn't he even turn his head?
Not him. Not any of them.
I don't believe you. This woman, she'll... Lady, would you please stop work and talk to me?
scared to look at him.
Lady, talk to me. I'm Dale Corday.
I scared all right.
I insist that you talk to me. Doesn't answer.
I told you, not while they work. Oh, your family bred 'em right.
Bred?
Yes, like you breed dogs the way you want 'em. Yes, for 330 years, bred to sit and work and no nonsense. Never to talk up to their rights, just sit and work the way they're told. You stand there looking at me and you don't believe me, do you? Well, try to get him to stop work. Try to get him to say something to you. Try to get him to act like human beings. Well, they're not human beings. They're workers. Yes, workers for the family of Corday. And what are you going to do about it?
We leave our The Devil and Mr. O's story of balance sheet for a short message.
When you've got a family to feed, there are ways to cut high food costs, and we'd like to tell you an economical, tasty way to serve top-quality meat dishes. Today's answer is high-protein ham, H-A-M. Crackus and Atalanta imported Polish ham. When you buy Crackus or Atalanta Polish ham, there's no waste, no gristle or bone to throw away, and no water added. It's all lean, flavorful ham down to the last tasty bit. You can even use the small amount of jellied broth to make soups more nourishing or to create delicious gravies. And ham is also perfect for breakfast, school lunch, snacks, and parties. It's the easiest food you can prepare because Polish ham is fully cooked when you buy it. Highlight your Easter dinner with a Polish ham. It's the most delicious, most economical way to delight your guests. And you'll be delighted with their compliments because only you will know how easy it was to prepare that magnificent platter. Incidentally, a can of Crackus or Atalanta ham is the perfect Easter gift for everyone on your list.
And now back to our The Devil and Mr. O saga of balance sheet.
Don't be afraid of me.
Who? You.
I'm Dale Corday.
Corday. Boss.
Please don't tremble. What's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph what?
Joseph.
Do you like it here?
Like work here. No complaint. Like work here. No complaint.
No, stop. They taught you that very well, didn't they?
Like work here. No complaint.
Wouldn't you like to leave this place? Sail away across the sea?
Like work here. No complaint.
Don't keep saying that. You don't understand what you say, do you? Look at me. Lift your face. Wouldn't you like to leave the factory and do what you please?
Like work here.
You've got to understand. You've got to talk to me. Well, you're the only one I see that has anything in her face. Oh, Joseph, look at me. No, don't hang your head. Look at me. I'm your friend. I want to know about you. Don't be afraid. Talk to me. That pretty flower in your hair, what is it? The flower, what's it called? What's its name?
You forget.
It's very pretty. What do you do in the factory, Joseph? What is your work?
Like work here. No complaint.
Yes. Would you like to take a walk with me?
Walk?
Yes, through the valley and show me the flowers.
No walk.
Why not?
We're so blow soon. Walk begin.
You don't have to work if you don't want to. Come on.
No, we're so blow soon.
But I tell you it's all right. You don't have to go.
I go.
But I want you to stay here. You will stay here.
No, let Joe go.
You'll stay here and talk to me. You'll stay. I'm only trying to help you. Look out.
Too late.
Well, now you'd believe I told you what would happen.
She bit me. Like an animal.
When the whistle blows, they go to work. It's in their blood.
In their blood. I've had enough of that talk.
And what are you going to do about it?
Close the factories.
What?
Yes, close them, lock them, shut them out. You say the rhythm of the factories in their blood. All right, I'll stop it. You hear me, Williams? You'll close the factory tonight. Well? Good. Tomorrow you'll start me back to the mainland. I'll make arrangements to get those people off of here.
Will you now?
You're breathing so heavily.
As soon as I locked the doors, I ran back all the way.
Why?
I wanted to see your face.
What?
I wanted to see your face after the whistle blows.
Whistle?
Aye, it'll blow just as always.
But I told you to...
And I did. I locked the factory, shut the big doors, and threw the bolts, but the whistle's at the powerhouse, and some of them are always there. Aye, the whistle will blow, and they'll march to work.
But they won't get in.
Aye, here they come.
You'll start me to the mainland very early tomorrow, Williams.
It's a long way.
I know it, but it's got to be done.
Too long a way.
You've a sail. Tonight I'm putting an end to their marching. Tomorrow I'll... What's that? Williams, don't you hear it?
Aye, I hear it.
It's from the factory.
Aye.
As if they were breaking down the doors.
Aye.
Yes, that's what they're doing. Williams, don't stand there. Go, stop them. Tell them the factory's closed forever. Tell them it's ended.
Go tell them yourself. They've broken in, gone back to work.
People, stop working and listen to me. Stop working, I tell you. I've got to talk to you. I've got to tell you important things. A little while ago, you broke down the door, but that was because you didn't understand what I was trying to do. And now I want to tell you, so listen to me. My name is Corday, and this factory and island and everything on it is my inheritance. And I want to close this factory because I want to help you. Help you to begin to live like human beings. Living means books to be read full of new excitement and understanding, and wonderful music to be played and listened to, and the enjoyment of your homes and conversation and friendship. But now you're not listening to me. None of you. People, listen. Why won't you turn away from your machines? Why won't you stop them? I want to help you. Listen to me, please. Just listen to me. Listen to me. All right, then. You'll listen to this. I'm going to burn the factory down. You hear me? If that's the only way to stop you, I'm going to burn it down. Burn it! Burn it! Burn it! Burn it! Burn it! Burn it!
It's a good sea this morning for sailing.
Have you everything aboard?
Aye.
Is there only some way to communicate to the mainland without going there?
There's none.
What time is it?
Almost 7.
And we go when the tide changes?
Aye. Wind's freshening.
Listen on the wind. You hear it?
I hear.
What?
What do you think? It's them.
For 2 days. Never even going home.
I heard you say you'd burn it, and they're afraid.
Afraid I'd burn their cage, and so they stay there watching. Watching. One shift works, and the other watches.
That's how it is. But not their cage alone, Miss Corday.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's yours.
What?
One boat on the island. This. And in a couple of minutes more, it won't be here.
What are you talking about? You and I are going...
That's where you haven't got it straight, Miss Corday. Going, yes, but only me.
I've wanted to ask you this for days now. Why are you always trying to frighten me?
Now I've done it, eh?
The tide's turning. We'd better go.
Yes, I've scared you now, haven't I? Well, say it. Say it. You don't have to. It's in your eyes. Just the thought of being left here with them year after year, nothing but them. It's enough to turn the insides of you white, ain't it? Why do you think I sent for you? I'll tell you, and I'll tell you quick, and then I'm off to sea. I sent for you because I'm a man born different from all the rest that were here. There were 3 kinds, workers, servants, and you, Cordays. Well, servant I was, but in the borning of me a piece of hate got in my heart, and it kept growing through the years. I mean, it's more than I am. A hate for a name and the sound of the name and those that have it, Corday. Well, you're the last of them, and here you'll stay with the sound of them and the sound of the factory grinding in your ears until you're as old as I am. And I hate for Pierre Corday and the rest of his kind is as old as mine is. This is your inheritance. An island and a factory and 1,000 perfect workmen who never want anything for themselves except the bit of food they grow, who sit at your machines until they rot and die. A perfect inheritance for a Corday. I'll leave it all for you until you rot and die.
Williams, come back. You don't understand these people. I want to... Williams. You cry. Me, Joe.
Joe.
Me, Dad.
Bad. What are you...
Whistle blow. Me no work.
Why?
Me want show you flower.
Oh, my dear.
You cry.
No. No, I'm not crying. There isn't time. I've so much to tell you. You first, and then the others. One by one.
You talk.
First, I want to tell you freedom. Say it. Freedom.
Freedom.
300 years ago, my people and your people gave it up. My people wanted profits, but they lost their freedom to the machinery they set up to give them those profits. Your people wanted the security of a bare existence, and so, too, gave up their rights as men to the machinery of profit. But now we've got to win that freedom back again for all of us.
Freedom.
Come. We'll go to them. I've so much to try and tell them. Things that I understand now. That freedom is the essence of the good life for all men. And that security without freedom is a sham which turns men into regiments of less than men. I've so much to tell them. So much to tell them.
This is Mr. O. Arch Obler. In the event that as a playwright you think I'm ignoring ghosts, I'm going to rectify that next time. Let me tell you of that after a few words from your station.
Gramercy Park Close of 64 West 23rd Street in New York says, be careful. Be very careful when you buy a suit. It's not just the money you spend, but you're going to wear it a long time. What's the point of buying a bargain if it bugs you every time you wear it? One of the reasons so many men are buying clothes at Gramercy Park is that Gramercy Park talks straight talk about good clothes, clothes you can live with. If good-looking suits, coats, sport coats, and slacks count for something in your life, and stretching a buck does too, why don't you go up to the third floor of the factory building at 64 West 23rd Street? Go through the big iron gate. You'll see a new and better way to buy men's clothing. There's no obligation, and credit cards are okay. Gramercy Park is open to 7, Saturday to 6, and on Sunday from 10 to 4. That's Gramercy Park Close, 64 West 23rd Street in New York.
This is Mr. O again. Next week, a real ghost story titled The House is Haunted. And if it happens to be your house, well, be happy. Where else can you get a visitor who doesn't use up all your hot water? It is later than you think.
Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd. I also have a YouTube channel, Terror Radio. Please check it out. Like and subscribe. Share the videos. Will be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.